Hello, class. My name is Rafael Diamzon. Forgot my name there for a sec, but I'm doing my philosophy assignment, research assignment on romanticism. I chose it because, I saw the word nature, the meaning of it, and I saw nature. When I see nature, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just pursue it. I'm gonna do this, and then I learned about it and everything, and it really all sounds interesting and everything. But going on to what is philosophy? What is philosophy? Well, one of the well-known philosophers in history, Socrates, he said an examined life is not worth living. Ever since the great philosophers of the world have went out to discover how humans can find ultimate truth in reality, knowledge, and goodness, life can be viewed in many perspectives, not only one. So life can be viewed more than just one-sided. When you look at people and everything, everybody has a different view on life. There's million of other sides. Life can be viewed. But philosophy has always been about the big questions. Usually, what is true, what is real, and how should we live our lives. But then again, in philosophy, there are endless abundance of big questions. It's like a universe. It just keeps going on. It just keeps go on and on. It's endless. The historical background of romanticism. Romanticism began in the mid 18th century and reached its heights in the 19th century. The Romantic literature of the 19th century holds in its topics the ideals of the time period, concentrating on emotions, nature, and the expressions of nothing. The Romantic era was one that focused on the common of humankind and while using emotions and nature. The poets in their works shed light on people's universal natures. Romanticism as a movement declined in the late 19th and 20th century, unfortunately, because of the growing dominance of realism in the literature and the rapid advancement of science and technology. In other words, throughout time, science and technology was always the majority of the favors. It just made sense to people more why things are happening like this. People depending on less feelings, more into logic. On to the next one. Jean Jacques Rousseau. Jean Jacques Rousseau, he was a philosopher. Like, he believed that nature was wonderful and that civilization, it really corrupted people. And history would be my evidence on that one. He believed that an individual could be free only if all men were free in the social contract. Well, background, big facts. The social contract, it was heavily influenced by our Constitution. And many governments today live by it. Well, not live by it, but were influenced by it. But the social contract was published in 1762. He sought to show how a democratic society could function, arguing that supreme sovereignty rests with the general will, which expressed the aspiration of all citizens. He believed that a sophisticated civilization had corrupted mankind rather than improve it. And like I said, history would be my witness and my evidence on the fact that civilization had corrupted mankind. Moving on to the next one. The basic tenets of or principles of romanticism. Well, first of all, the romantic movement was dominantly focused on emotions, nature, and the importance of the individual. The philosophic idea posed that the age of enlightenment, it was the enlightenment was more towards the use of logic and the science. The answer towards everything. They thought that, like the enlightenment and all that was, the answer towards everything. And Rousseau was disagreeing because he felt like that there are things science could not explain that emotions and feelings could. I think it just goes both ways, just depending on what we talk about. But the mindset of a romantic is that everything flows and open, and less detailed than an enlightened thinker. All the artists or people that were influenced by this idea of romanticism put expressions and originality into their work. And then, like I said, romantics felt that there were things, emotions, and feelings could explain that science could not. You know, like I said, it just goes both ways. On to the next one. Discourse on the arts and sciences. You know, this is like one of the most important texts that shows relevance towards the idea of romanticism. The main idea of the book or essay that Rousseau wrote is it challenges the current government system at the time and doubted logic in regards to the Age of Enlightenment if it was like corrupting or helping society as a whole. One of the passages that correlates to what I was stating, Rousseau stated that has the restoration of the sciences and the arts contributed to the purification or to the corruption of morality? This is the matter we have to examine. What side should I take on this question? That gentleman which suits an honorable man who knows nothing, who does not, for that reason, think any less of himself? So, what this quote is basically saying, what Rousseau was questioning, if science has gotten in the way of virtuousness, and that morals are more precious than logic and knowledge. Being a man of logic does not make you a virtuous one. Going back to virtue is the top priority in romanticism. Later in the book, Rousseau explains that all the focus has shifted to science and that they have been unconscious on how important virtue and empathy are in society. On to the next one. There are many influenced by Romanticism, but Romanticism brought upon series of impact throughout the world. For example, like the majority is that it made an individual experience and their emotional point of view valid. This idea has given every individual freedom of mind and creativity in modern society. It influenced mankind to form our own thoughts apart from religion and government. Thanks to the Romanticism period, it gave society the tools to find ways to express themselves outside the box of society. In regards for nature, Romanticism glorifies the beauty of nature. In modern society, we view nature as uplifting and high vibration. Our understanding and appreciation of it all goes back to the ideas of Romanticism. It's my works cited here. Thank you.